April 1st is an important day. It marks the beginning of the second quarter of the year, and that means 2020 is just chugging along. It'll be 2030 before we know it. I started college 8 years ago. That doesn't make me feel old. Not at all. But anyways, I've been saving this Pokemon run for a very special day, being today. I think I've discovered what might be the hardest Pokemon run yet. Why do I say this? No one has attempted it yet. So many people are terrified of this run, so much so that they don't even want to try it. But I think I'm strong enough to tackle it. This run may be the end of my sanity, but I will be the one to take on this monster and all of its tyranny. Today, the 1st of April, we will be seeing if it's possible to beat Pokemon Red with a Pokemon that no one else has decided to use, Mewtwo. I'm not sure how tough this run will be. It's definitely going to be nothing like any of the runs I've done so far. Mewtwo's base stats are at an unheard of 680 base total. I've never done a run with stats like this. It won't be like Weedle for sure. That one took like 2 weeks to finish. Who knows how long this one will take. And Mewtwo starts out with Confusion, Disable, Swift, and Psychic. At least I start out with 2 stab moves. The Horsey run was like this, so maybe it won't be too bad, but I'm still skeptical. Here's my rules for the run. I will only be using Mewtwo in battle. HM slaves will be caught and not used in battle, even if I desperately need backup. I won't be using any items in battle. This includes potions, X items, and other things. Mewtwo can learn Recover, so I may have to rely on that a good bit, I'm just not sure yet. And I will not be evolving Mewtwo. You might be thinking, Coach, don't be stupid. And to that I say, you're right. I just get nervous with base stats like this. It'd be nice to get a boost from evolving, but I'll soldier on anyways. I nicknamed my rival LeFou after this dude from Beauty and the Beast. If you're up to snuff on your French, you'll know that it stands for the Noble One or something like that. I replaced Bulbasaur with Mewtwo so that my rival would get Charmander. I wanted to make sure he had the worst starter so I'd have more of an advantage. I named Mewtwo Ralph because I'm going to need him to wreck stuff. If not, this will be a very long run. In my first battle with LeFou, I opted for Psychic, and luckily took it down in one hit. Things could have been very dangerous if this didn't happen. I decided to make the challenge even more challenging, to not battle wild Pokemon. I went straight to the second rival battle, and didn't take out PIDGEY in one hit. Psychic just isn't strong enough. It hit me with Sand Attack, but then I got it on the next turn. Charmander couldn't handle Psychic, thankfully, so I won this battle too. My very first gym battle with Brock had me concerned being at such a level disadvantage. I used Psychic to get stab damage and took out Geodude in one hit. Onix could have seriously done damage to me if I didn't get a lucky crit here too. So far, so good. I picked up the Dome Fossil for the ultimate prank in Mount Moon, and ran into LeFou in Cerulean City. This battle is notorious for ending Nuzlocke because of his sand-attacking Pidgeotto. It even got an attack off on me. I was lucky that Psychic took it out. Psychic didn't take out Abra in one hit though. If it hadn't teleported, who knows what it could have done to Ralph. And one Psychic got Rattata and Charmander. Things got a little tense, but we struggled through. I got the SS ticket from Bill and went for my second gym badge. Starmie is part Psychic, so it's gonna resist some of my moves. This could end up disastrous if not done the right way. Psychic did get Staryu in one hit, so that wasn't too scary. Starmie resisted my first Psychic really well, but I lowered its special. And then Misty went for an X-Defend. If she had just gone for an attack, I could have been in trouble. But I was able to take at least one tackle from Starmie next turn, and put the Starfish out to dry. On board the SS Anne, I decided to do the courteous thing and not interrupt any passengers and go straight for LeFou. He's not gonna be an easy fight. Ralph decided to really wreck shop by taking out Pidgeotto and Raticate in one hit. But Kadabra survived Psychic, and then tried to teleport again. It's a good thing that keeps failing. And Charmeleon just took one Psychic. I was worried about the evolution stat boost keeping it alive, but I didn't give it a chance to hit me. Surge's Voltorb luckily went down in a critical hit. Sonic Boom could have been disastrous. Pikachu used Quick Attack, taking a chunk of my health away, but I stopped it in its tracks. And Raichu got a Thunderbolt on me before I could knock it out. Had it paralyzed me, things would have been messy. But Ralph pulled through and made it out of the gym without too many issues, thank goodness. I got Thunderbolt from Lieutenant Surge, which I promptly taught to Ralph. I know what you're thinking. Won't that make Ralph too powerful? Well, I need all the help I can get in this run. I don't want to risk being caught in a position where I'm in more trouble than I already am. Jumping ahead to Erica's gym in Celadon, her team luckily gave me a type advantage. It's about time I had things working in my favor in this run. Tangela scared me because it wasn't part poison, but I still took it out with no issue. Maybe the run won't be so bad now. I needed the Sylph Scope to make progress, so I took on Giovanni in the Rocket headquarters. His team was very bulky, and had me more than a little concerned. All three of them went down in one Psychic, but I really think that's just because I've been carefully EV training Ralph so that his special gets boosted. Yes, that reason, and no other. I think LeFou's Raticate is playing a prank on him, because it wasn't in the battle at the Pokemon Tower. Again, Pidgeotto used Quick Attack to get some early damage on me. Luckily, I took it out in one hit. His Exeggcute survived one hit and hit me with a critical barrage. I got lucky to escape that one with this much HP. Gyarados fell victim to Thunderbolt, and that's the only reason I beat it as quickly as I did. Even though it says I used Psychic on screen, that's probably a glitch or something. Kadabra and Charmeleon went down in one Psychic too. I don't know for certain if they had any super effective moves on me, but I didn't want them to stick around and find out. I grabbed a bike a while back and went down Cycling Road to Fuchsia City after taking care of the menacing Snorlax. Koga's team, thankfully, had a weakness to Psychic. I'm not sure I could have beaten this in one go otherwise. Psychic took care of all of his scary Pokemon, luckily. These things like to use Explosion. That wouldn't have been fun in the slightest. LeFou's team in Silphco was pretty on par level-wise with Ralph. His stupid Pidgeot hit me with Sand Attack and Quick Attack before I could take it out. His Exeggcute hit me with Leech Seed and paralyzed me, so I was constantly losing health and only hit half the time. If it wasn't for Thunderbolt, I might not have made it past Gyarados as easily. Alakazam was a monster that survived about 3 hits. I had to swap over to Thunderbolt to take it down. And Charizard survived 2 Psychics. Ralph won this battle with only 6 HP. Guys, this battle was terrifying. I know why no one has done this run before now. It's giving me nightmares even thinking about it. I picked up Daniel the Lapras for Surf and Strength before battling Giovanni the second time. I know he has 2 poison types, so I'm thankful for that advantage after the last exhilarating battle. He led with Nidorino, which thankfully got a critical Psychic on top of it being super effective. Kangaskhan and RHYHORN still weren't tanky enough to survive one hit, thank goodness, and his NIDOQUEEN was one-shot by Psychic. Real talk? Maybe LeFou should be the leader of Team Rocket. Or at least take over Giovanni's gym down the road, I don't know. After selling many items in the mart, I bought enough coins to buy the Hyper Beam TM. And, again, I know what you're thinking. Isn't that another super strong move? Yes, and I need the advantage. I'm not at a huge level advantage like normal in these runs, so I need a lot of help. Sabrina's team resisted all of my Psychic moves too, so that's the main reason I went for Hyper Beam. Now, lucky for us, Hyper Beam is glitched in Gen 1, where if you knock out the opposing Pokemon, you skip the recharge turn. Thankfully, this move is so overpowered that we took out her team of 4 with just 4 Hyper Beams. That was just Hyper Beam right there. Definitely not Mewtwo's stats. Since I mentioned just EV training his special stat, and normal moves are physical in Gen 1. Obviously. Blaine was the next big challenge. I didn't have an outright advantage over him, so that had me a little concerned. Psychic got Ponyta and Growlithe, but I knew it would get them, their first form Pokemon. And thank goodness, I got a critical hit on Rapidash and Arcanine. Had that not happened, who knows how burnt Ralph could have been. The final battle with Giovanni was a thriller. His lead RHYDON went down to a lucky crit. Dugtrio had basically the same thing happen to it, and both NIDOQUEEN and NIDOKING are weak to Psychic. Only reason I got them that easily. RHYDON, as imposing and as scary as it looks, went down thanks to a lucky critical hit. I don't know how crits are determined in Gen 1, but if it's something like your speed or something, then I am just getting so super lucky. LeFou's final normal battle started out like normal. I'm on par with his levels, took a quick attack, and his Pidgeot survived one hit. I hit first next turn though. RHYHORN couldn't hang on though, and that was fun. EXEGGCUTE went down to Hyper Beam only because it was a critical. And man, again, if Thunderbolt hadn't saved me on Gyarados, who knows what would have happened. I knew Alakazam's physical defense is low, so I opted for Hyper Beam just for that reason. Not because it has 150 base power. That is totally irrelevant. Charizard got a chance to hit me with Flamethrower, and it was a critical hit too. I was worried, but everything worked out in the end. This is the lowest level I've ever been going into the Elite Four. Guys, I'm not sure if I can do this at this level. I had to be at level 100 to beat them with Weedle. Things aren't looking great. I decided to take on Lorelei at this low level anyway. DEWGONG survived a Thunderbolt. If she hadn't used a Super Potion, illegally and out of turn by the way, I could have been frozen in spot. Same thing happened on CLOYSTER, except it used Aurora Beam. I took minimal damage because of my high special and no other reason, and took SLOWBRO down with Thunderbolt and Jinx with Hyper Beam. And guys, had I not gotten a critical Thunderbolt on Lapras, I'm not sure I would even be alive to tell this story. Bruno's team was another that I had an advantage with, thank goodness. His two Onix are super bulky, but have bad special, and both Hitmons went down in a single Psychic, only because of that advantage. Machamp was bulky and beefy, but its weakness to Psychic is really the only reason I made it through the battle as well off as I did. Agatha's team was all weak to Psychic. I don't know who made this Elite Four, but I guess they weren't expecting you to use Mewtwo at the very least. Which makes total sense. I can't think of anyone that's ever used a Mewtwo through the Elite Four. I guess that's just because there's other options out there, right? That's it. Now here's something I actually forgot to do. I meant to go get the TM for Ice Beam so that my battle with Lance would be easier, but I forgot. So I had to battle Lance legitimately. Thank goodness for Gyarados though. But then came the dragons. I had no super effective moves, and Hyper Beam didn't take it out in one turn, so I had to recharge. And then his Dragonair used Hyper Beam. It did a decent bit of damage to me. I used Psychic on the next Dragonair, so I didn't risk anything. Aerodactyl, had it not been weak to Thunderbolt, would have been a major thorn in my side. And Dragonite took 2 Psychics. I prayed that it wouldn't use Hyper Beam, and it went for Slam instead. Whew. As challenging as this run has been, it's been so worth it to make it this far as the underdog. Time for LeFou. His Pidgeot went down in one massive Thunderbolt. So far so good. Alakazam took a Hyper Beam and went down. RHYDON survived a Psychic, and then it used Horn Drill. My heart stopped, but it missed its attack. That would have been the end for me, right there. EXEGGUTOR took Hyper Beam and got to hit me with 2 barrages. Luckily, neither of them were critical, and I made it out relatively lucky. Gyarados fell victim to Thunderbolt one last time, and Charizard survived Thunderbolt. It used Slash, which has a massive crit chance. It put me in yellow health, but I blasted through to end it right there. And yes, you can in fact beat Pokemon Red with a single Mewtwo. There were definitely some parts of this run that I wasn't expecting to be as easy as they were. I can understand why some people haven't attempted this run before, but at the same time, I'm not sure what's stopping them from doing it. Oh well, at least we know that you can beat Pokemon with a Mewtwo. A single Mewtwo. A team consisting of a single Mewtwo. I'm gonna need a challenge that's much easier next time. I've got some planned, but try to drop some easy runs in the comments so that I can get a break. Also, real talk, when RHYDON used Horn Drill, I panicked, but one-hit KO moves are calculated with the speed stat in Gen 1, so I really did get lucky there. That was the only thing that really could have ended me. If you enjoyed the video today, make sure you like the video and hit the subscribe button. I just recently hit 500 subs, and guys, that's a milestone I never thought I would reach. Let's keep on reaching for the stars. If you're interested in more Pokemon stuff, I have a blue Nuzlocke going on the channel. Give that a watch. And until next time, see you later!